wasn't an ordinary little girl. Being raised by a single father who was an ex-army officer does that to you. I had rules, discipline, and responsibility drilled into me since I was very young. And growing up, I found other kids my age really immature. I don't know why he'd break up with me. I wore the clothes he liked, woke up at 5 every morning to do my hair because he liked them curly, and pretended to love watching wrestling. Excuse me, but I need to get that muffin. Can't you see that I'm crying? My boyfriend just broke up with me. Aw, I'm so sorry. You know, it reminds me of the time my dad took me for this obstacle course and I twisted my ankle so badly, the doctors told me I'd never be able to walk again. But I didn't lose hope, and here I am. How is that the same thing? It's not, because that was an actual problem. But yours is just a bunch of high school nonsense. Now move your butt, please. Needless to say, I didn't have a lot of friends, and I didn't care either. My life was all sorted out. Graduate school, get into a good college, work, and retire. But then I turned 18 and met Arthur. He was a transfer student from Greece, and boy was he dreamy. The first time I met him was in gym class. We were playing catch, and I was so lost in looking at him. I totally missed the ball, and it hit me right in the face. I fell on my butt, and Arthur came running.
Are you okay? You're bleeding.
It's nothing. I'm used to much worse. On second thoughts, I might need a doctor. Arthur smiled and carried me to the nurse's office. The entire time I was there, he sat next to me, and later he dropped me home. We became friends after that, and slowly I fell for him. He was smart, mature, and sweet. If there was one guy I wanted to date, it was him. So I decided to ask him out, except I didn't know how. So I turned to MSA for help, and it did not disappoint. Rule number 1, never let your crush know you're interested in him. Avoid eye contact and do not speak at all. The next day, when Arthur waved at me in the hallway, I wrinkled my nose and turned away. He sat next to me in class, but I didn't pay any attention. But then in the cafeteria, he caught up with me.
Are you avoiding me?
Me? Avoiding you? Oh, don't be silly. I was just really busy thinking about global warming and how it's impacting the fish population. Oh, that reminds me. I have to water my fish. My plants. I'll see you around. And I just ran before I embarrassed myself further. After that epic failure, I turned to step number 2. Dress up nice and behave like a total diva. I went shopping, picked up a bunch of dresses, and the next morning, it took me 2 hours to get ready. I thought I looked great, except the moment I entered, everyone started pointing at me and laughing. Oh my god, why is she dressed like a peacock? What is that on her face? Did someone finally punch her for being a know-it-all? I was so embarrassed. I immediately turned around and ran for the bleachers. I was still sulking when Arthur walked up to me.
If you rub your lips anymore, they're gonna fall off.
This lipstick won't come off. Ugh, it's so annoying.